This is AFCRDTV. It finishes here at Hayden Road. AFC Rushden Diamonds 0, Nuneaton Borough 1. The man of the match is Liam Dolman, the bully man. And Liam, you've been through the football wars for many years, and today, football gods just not kind to Diamonds.
So that but you can't go on. Ultimately, we've just the table doesn't lie after the season ends. 40 games was it? We're disappointed, gutted, everything that you could possibly think. But one thing I will say is we'll give credit to our church. They pushed us all the way and they've done it, so fair play to them. But we're absolutely devastated. I mean, we've just spoken there. Today hasn't cost us the playoff spot. The last month has. We haven't defended or done well in both boxes, attacking wise, for the last month or so. So yeah, we're not blaming anyone, but it is one of those things. But hopefully we can bounce back from it. I mean, what a fantastic group of players we've had. I mean, after 4 games, nobody would have even given us a sniff at the playoffs. We've took it all away, but unfortunately we fell short, and that ultimately that's where we are. Like I say, the table doesn't lie at this stage of the season. So, but there's a lot of young boys in that change room that will have good careers. Hopefully they're here, and just as senior players, management, just got to make sure we pick them up and hopefully go again next season.
Like you said, Liam, it's been a fantastic season overall, really, for AFC Rushden Diamonds. But right now, it hurts. I'm sure it's hard to break the hotel.
It is, yeah. I mean, I'm probably the most happy person I've ever been there. Do you know what I mean? I've been here the longest, and I honestly thought this season was the best squad we had. And injuries and whatnot, people can talk about that throughout the season, players leaving. We still had enough in that dressing room. Ultimately, with 4 teams have been better than us, and obviously Banbury champions. So, but we have to make sure we pick ourselves up, like I said.
It was a disappointing result on Monday, Easter Bank Holiday Monday at St. Ives. How did practice go then on Thursday?
Training was fine. It really was. Everyone was buzzing. We thought we'd put that behind us, but in those 2 games, St. Ives would say we haven't made the keeper work enough. And ultimately, you have to score goals to pick up points, and we haven't done that. So we got what we deserved.
Does training normally go for about a couple of hours, or how does that typically?
Yeah, so we get there at 7ish and we train till 9. So yeah, we spoke about the game and what Nuneaton would bring, and then we go out and train. So like I say, it's not about Nuneaton, it's about us, and ultimately we haven't been good enough.
Right before the end of the match today, you did give Tony Breeden, the goalkeeper, a bit of a go there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were just in the intensity of the moment.
Yeah. It's, like I said, I don't really want to say it, I just feel like I'm repeating myself. It's good, but yeah.
It's probably not a good time to ask you this, but do you hope to be back playing again with Diamonds next season, or do you see yourself in a coaching role eventually?
I still want to play football.
Yeah.
Hopefully the manager still wants me, but who knows? Football's a funny game. I'm not going to stand here and say I'm definitely staying because the manager won that. Of course I want to stay. But football's I'm 34 now, whatever. Gaffer might have his own ideas and whatnot, but look, if wanted, I'll be here and then we'll just see where it takes us.
Well, compared to me, you're a very, very young man, but you're saying in football and in athletics, I don't want to be harsh, but you're sort of in the twilight of your career.
I feel more than good. I think hopefully I've proved that the last 6 months of the season. But like I say, the Gaffer's his own man. He might want to bring his own players in. Hopefully we'll be part of his plans, and then we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Football changes ever so quickly. I know that. And like you say, I'm not in my prime anymore, as some may say, age-wise, but we'll see what happens.
All right, Liam, well, thanks for your time, and hopefully give it another go next season.
Hopefully, even if I'm not here, I'm not saying bother, I'm not saying, but like I say, the Gaffer's ideas, I wish this club all the best, and hopefully I'm here doing it, and we've just spoken there, use this, what's happened the past month here to kick on next season, use it as a bounce board, and learn from it. Cheers.
Well, Andy, thanks for joining us after today's game. I understand you must be quite upset, quite disappointed. How would you summarise today as a whole?
Not good enough. I think we weren't good enough, and I don't think we've been good enough perhaps over the last 6 weeks, especially in both penalty areas. We haven't defended well enough, we haven't stopped goals going in anywhere near good enough, and we haven't been ruthless enough in the opposition penalty box, and I think that was true today. You know, balls have gone across. We haven't had a great deal of chances, but you know, Connor's put a brilliant corner in, and the ball's bounced in the 6-yard box, and it's a tap in for somebody. One or two others but you know, it's bitterly disappointing, frustrating, all of the above, and it's difficult at this moment in time to draw too many positives.
Well, you mentioned how we've not lost it today, we've lost it over the last few weeks, and we were just speaking off camera. Do you think that it's we haven't turned those draws into wins? Because we've not lost many games since you've been here. Do you think it's the fact that we've not turned those draws into 3 points?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. You know, we've drawn far too many games, and that shows that you know, again, it's what happens at both ends of the pitch, and we have to be better with that. And there's been lots and lots of examples when, you know, we've needed to defend our you know, Monday is a prime example about defending. Just defend a corner and you draw 0-0, and that's the difference between winning and losing. And we have to be far more aggressive. We have to be far more ruthless in both penalty areas, because goals win games, goals change games. It's all about scoring and not conceding goals. So bitterly disappointing, and it's further compounded the way it's happened in terms of we dropped out the playoffs on the last day of the season, and again that hurts. So disappointed.
We've obviously had to deal with a few blows in terms of Ty going to Kettering, obviously Ravi and Alex getting injured as well. Jordan Gray wasn't in the squad today. Was that an injury concern?
Yeah, again, you know, he played 2 games in 3 days on the weekend, and again, maybe we should have managed that better. But you think, you know, he was fine in himself to go again Monday, and you think go and try and get the job done on Monday. So yeah, listen, I've said before, the group's had loads and loads of trauma, and in fairness to the group, they haven't used that as an excuse. They haven't waved the white flag. They've kept going. They've stuck together. Lesser clubs or lesser teams would certainly have rolled over when they lose a player who, you know, a centre forward who scored so many goals, a wide player who scored goals and created goals, and is a huge influence. You know, Jordan, Alex. Obviously, Alex has been a massive miss. Your captain, he was leading goal scorer when, you know, since I've been at the club when he went out. He's massive in the defending penalty area. So there has been huge trauma, and I hate excuses. I'm not one for excuses, but we do have to look for some reasons, and we do have to look why we haven't quite got over the line. But I don't think, I'm a firm believer, and I said in the dressing room, the league table doesn't lie at the end of the season. I think we've been the 6th best team in the league this season, and I think Banbury have been the best, and etc. And as a football club, it's progression. I think as the season's gone on, I think everyone's told me, you know, middle of October, 17th, and maybe facing a relegation scrap. So listen, there's loads and loads of good things to look back on this season. Lots of good things. The progression of some players, the likes of Paddy, you know, Casey, Will Jones has finished the season well. Things like that. And I'll be raw tonight, and I'll be hurting tonight. But when I wake up in the morning, I'm focusing on 2022, 2023, and that means progression for this football club again. So that means being better than finishing 6th next season, and that's what my focus will be. That's what my aim will be, and I'll do everything I possibly can to make that happen.
Yeah, it's certainly got to look ahead to next year. There's nothing we can do about it now, but let's just touch on the game quickly. It was certainly a game with very few chances, particularly in the first half. I suppose we were always going to come on stronger after we went 1-0 down, knowing we had to go and get the goal. Do you think that there was a bit of nervousness that just got on top of the players in the end? Yeah,
I think first half we looked a little nervous, whether it's nerves, whether it was a little bit of trepidation. I thought we looked a bit frightened. I said at half time we looked like scared to get on the ball, scared to do. We were doing things first half which weren't us. We were doing things that we were not good at. Players who were good at dribbling were passing the ball, and vice versa. We were just not really at the races. But at 0-0, you know, it was fairly comfortable, and then the goal looked far too soft. Obviously, I've not seen it back. The goal looked really soft. It was, you know, a poor defensive header. We've not picked up the second again today, and it's been a theme over the last 6 weeks, and probably, to be fair, since I've come in, the units, the space on the pitch were massive, far too big. There was, you know, we were far too deep at times, and there was no connectivity between, you know, the back four, midfield, and the front. So, and I thought that the goal is a prime example of that. And we just went in at half time and said, you know, we need a spark now. We need, you know, people need to stand up and be counted and be brave. We needed bravery. And you know, we came back into it last 20 minutes, and we had one or two half opportunities. Obviously, Bully was offside for his. Another couple have flashed, and we've had one or two other chances. But ultimately, we haven't been good enough to win the game, and that's a bitter disappointment.
It's obviously a very raw feeling right now. It's going to feel like that for a while, but when you look back on it as a whole, and certainly perhaps in a few months' time when we look back on this season, I'm sure, well, as a football club, if we were offered 6 before the year, we would have took it, especially back in October. It just feels like a real sucker punch knowing that, you know, we're disappointed with 6th place, and that goes to show how far the club's come.
Yeah, as I said before, progression. You know, football's about progression and being better than, you know. I think last full season, was it 9th or something like that?
Yeah.
I think it's the club finished. We finished 6th this season. So it's you know, as you say, you know, as when the season started and time went on and the season develops, you sort of get into the sort of routine of things, and routine of winning, the habit of winning, and the habit of being successful and doing better, and all of a sudden things open up and opportunities look like they're going to arise for you. And you know, we've been in the playoffs all the way since I've been here until today, and that, as I said before, that compounds it even more and throws even more into the pot of how disappointed we are today. So yeah.
Well, I know it's a very horrible feeling, so we will let you go, but just want to say thank you for everything you've done for the club since you've been in. There's a lot of positive things going on, like you say, so you know, I hope you have a really good summer, and we'll push on again next year, and hopefully you'll go again.